Okay, hello friends. Welcome to part 2 of my impression of the big, incredible Smith & Wesson 500 ES 50 caliber pistol. Remember back when the movie Dirty Harry was made and the 44 Automag was like the biggest badass gun back then? Of course, it's still a big badass gun. But back in 2003, let's put the picture. Mr. Straight Shooter is filming. Let's put the picture of the gun here just momentarily, and I got a couple things to speak about here in part 2. How's that right there? Right there by the holster. Okay, back in 2003, the gunsmiths and engineers at Smith wanted to deliver maximum power for serious handgun hunters. The power they sought required an entirely new frame, the massive X-frame, and was the basis for the model S&W 500. The most powerful production revolver in the world. For ultimate power and velocity, there's nothing that comes close to an X-frame model handgun. That's off of their website, and they tout this gun for 2 reasons, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons. They tout it for hunting, and we're going to talk about the marketing again like I did in part 1, and they also tout it for ultimate defense carry. Okay, let's go to the marketing and look at the kit here, Mr. Straight Shooter. And like I said in part 1, Smith, kudos to you guys. Thumbs up. You did a great job at marketing. You know, you got the hunters involved with this. In reality, people are not probably going to buy this pistol to go to Africa and shoot big game. They're probably not going to buy it to shoot bear. But if you do, good, great. You know, all the power to you. I think, you know, the blanket and this little shiny thing to shoot at the stars if you want, and get help if you need be, and this compass. These are just little trinkets. The flint, little trinkets. Like I said in part 1, the knife is a legitimate good knife from the Extreme Ops, but you buy this gun for 3 purposes, and I'm going to discuss the 3 purposes, and in no particular order. Purpose number 1, let's just stare at the gun. And purpose number 1 is collectability, in my opinion. And like I said in part 1, I want to reiterate. Imagine if your great-great-grandfather had his gun from the 1800s, and he was a cowboy in the 1860s, and you had that actual revolver. Wouldn't that be kind of cool as an heirloom? I'd like to think this will be in my family tree in 150 years. The craftsmanship on this gun, and I'm going to put it in my hands here momentarily and show you some of the actions on it, is just incredible. It's just beautifully made, high quality, and you know we know what Smith's known for. Their revolvers. And when they came out with a 500 Magnum, I wanted the ES, the shorter version, because I had a gut feeling that they would stop making it because people would be afraid of the recoil. And it's just a short barrel. They still make the 4-inch. It's about $1,300 retail. I recommend you get it for the reasons I'm speaking about. But I like this for collectability and 2, self-defense. Now, self-defense, a lot of guys would say, oh, come on, you know, that we can carry a Glock 30, a 45 auto. We can carry a number of different Glocks, and there's so many weapons, some semi-automatic weapons we can carry for self-defense. But put yourself in that position where you're the owner of a convenience store or a jewelry store where you have a lot of cash on hand, a lot of valuables on hand, and you got 2 hoodlums coming in to rob you. Yes, you know, I want my Glock 30 there underneath that register at arm's reach. But you know what? My first shot, I'd like it to be out of this 500 Magnum for intimidation factor. This gun will shoot a 4-foot flame, 2 inches in 2 feet, excuse me, 2 feet in diameter. Just think of that fireball coming out of this gun, and think of the sound, ear piercing. I don't know what the decibels are, but I tell you what, everyone in that room will be deaf after round 1, after shot 1. So if there's 2 hoodlums coming at you, you take hoodlum 1 out with the shot, and hoodlum 2, he's probably going to be running from the intimidation factor. If not, you've also got your Glock 30 to back you up. But I like it for self-defense. We're going to look at some of the rounds here momentarily. And you know, the third reason to get this gun is for what it's marketed for. Let's look back at the packaging. Let's look at the marketing. If you are a legitimate hunter, and thumbs up, go for it, guys. And if you are on this in Alaska and you're fishing on those streams, you want this strapped to your hip, along with some other weapons, possibly a 10mm Glock 29. but you want a big, powerful gun. And this is the most powerful, the key word is production gun in the world. Pretty awesome. This is an icon for America. Let's look back at the gun. I mean, think of iconic things in America. We've got the Corvette for the car. We've got American Pie when we were little kids and Mom made American Pie. That's what America's known for. We've got the Empire State Building. We've got baseball. And we've got Smith & Wesson, company that designed and built revolvers, the highest quality revolvers there are. And to have this gun in our arsenal is just awesome. You've got to purchase this gun if you could afford it and put it in your collection. It's not available no more, this smaller snub-nose version, so grab the 4-inch while they're still producing it. Now, let's look at the my carry system for this. If I were to carry it in a hunting expedition, possibly I'm thinking of going to Ted Nugent's hunting compound and shooting some things over there, possibly. And this is exactly how I would do it. Put it in this Galco holster, and I'd have 400 grain bullets. And of course there's silver tip. We're going to talk about that in a minute, because you might have a werewolf that comes out on a full moon. All kidding aside, we're going to talk about the ammo in a minute. You got 5, 5, and 5 in the gun. You got 15 rounds at your fingertips of 50 caliber in your pistol. 400 grain bullets. Just an incredible, incredible weapon. Let's take a close look, and a slow close look at this weapon in the light. Can you zoom in on that? 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. And you have to hold this in your hands to really appreciate it. Of course it's safety checked, but it's just to feel the weight. This big hoe grips, the rubber is there to absorb some of the concussion and the recoil. And you know, the recoil on this isn't that bad. I mean, this is a man's gun. Any of you who shot a .45, you'll pick this up right away, and it's not that big of a deal. Even the shorter version. So it pops up 4 inches in your hand. It's fun. It's a man's gun. 500 ES. Can we zoom in on that? Smith & Wesson. The craftsmanship on this gun will last forever if you take care of it. I use Ballistol, of course, and I think this gun 200 years from now, my great-great-grandchildren, it'll look just like this, like it does today. And this has probably 300-400 rounds through it. And it's an expensive gun to shoot. Yeah, we know the bullets are about $1 a piece, but it's not something you're going to shoot every time you go to the range. You know, maybe once a year. Bring a newbie to the range. Let him shoot this for the first time. Only joking. I just love the craftsmanship of this gun. You've got to feel it in your hands. You can just watch a TV show and just hold this and listen to it. And it's just, if you're into guns and you compare this to a lower end revolver, the craftsmanship is not even close. Without naming other manufacturers' names, I know of one from Brazil. The craftsmanship is not even close. This is incredible. Let's look at some of the ammo I have lined up here on the table. And let's start with looking at a 22. Let's zoom in on that. Of course, the 22, a BB gun is a deadly round. A 22, very deadly. A wonderful round for the range. Plink around. Shoot little varmints if you have to, rats. And moving up the line here, zoom right in on these bullets. There's a 380. That's really picking up in production now. A lot of nice 380 semi-automatics being built. Here's a 9mm. Here's a .40 caliber, probably the bullet of choice for most law enforcement today. Here's a .38. There's our little old friend there, the .357 Magnum hollow point. I'll do a review on my little M&P 340 Smith. What a pistol that is. We'll do that one next. But I'm so excited about this 500 Magnum. Let's keep looking at the ammo. 10mm, in my opinion, that's the best semi-automatic round made. Everyone's got their own opinion and we're entitled to it. That's what I carry. Glock 29. I've got probably 3 or 4 Glock 29s. I have them all over the place, different homes, different vehicles. I like a 29 at hand's reach at all times. 45 auto. Whew, what's that? A black Talon. Had that about 20 years. One of my buddies told me I should polish all my black Talons and put them on a trophy shelf. They're so, so rare now. They don't make them anymore. Kind of like this gun. They don't make them anymore. Here we are looking at a 44 Magnum, another American icon load and revolver. We'll do a review on my 44 Magnum Smith & Wesson also here soon. Guess what round that is? Can you tell? It's a little bit bigger than the 44. That's the 454 Castle. I put that in my Ruger. It also shoots the 45 Colt. That's a big bullet. But now look at these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 50 caliber round for a Smith & Wesson 500. Just look at the size of those rounds. Incredible. Incredible. We got a couple. These are all 400 grains. We got a MagTac design. A lot of companies make these ammos. I have a MagTac, the Carbon, 400 grains. The HSM is actually 350 grains. HSM. And I love the Winchester 500, 400 grain hollow point. Gosh, I mean, if you like guns, you also gotta like bullets. It's a shame to shoot these things. They're so pretty. But us gun enthusiasts, we like every little thing. I threw a couple of rifle cartridges here. That is one kick-ass cartridge. Can you guess what that one is? The green tip? That's a 5.56 NATO round. It goes in my SWAT 6 Sawyer pistol. Green tip. Boy, that thing with X-Tac made by PMC, that'll do some damage. And what is that big puppy there? That's a 308. But you know what? Back to this gun. I told you my 3 reasons to own it.